Welcome to Faith Talks Wood podcast. I am Will, and I'm running solo this week. Last week, Tom ran solo, and this week it's me. And it's kind of funny how the timing works. I'm recording this Monday night, the week before last week's episode came out, if that makes sense. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, stuff's just busy. This weekend, I leave to go to New Orleans for a conference. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't like leaving family. If it's a day or a couple days, it's one thing. But this thing is 6 days. I leave Sunday morning, and I will get back Friday night. And I'm not looking forward to it. The conference is going to be good. It's a technology conference. It's a big one. It'll be good. I'll learn a lot. There's going to be a lot of good times to network and learn some things. And all the AI talk. As you guys know, I'm an IT manager, and so there's going to be a lot of AI classes and stuff. But yeah, so I'm recording this just after I edited Tom's episode last week. So the timing is kind of off, but this week is kind of busy as I'm prepping to go to New Orleans, and I'm taking some time off of work to spend with family before I go. And so it just made sense that I'll record his and listen. I listened to it, and then, or I didn't record his, I edited his, and then jump on it and do mine. And so Tom did a phenomenal job talking in Exodus about, kind of who's holding up your arms. And that's such a cool story, how God uses that. How powerful is that, to have your brothers there to hold your arms up so that you can win the battle. There's so many things there. But yeah, so this last week has been pretty good. The weather here, Tom was kind of complaining about the weather out in Colorado. It's interesting because the weather for him, we get his weather like 2 or 3 days later. We're in Pennsylvania, he's in Colorado, and so when he says it's cold and it's snowy, I know that that's going to hit us in a couple of days. And it did. Last night into this morning, it snowed. Nothing stuck, but it got cold. It's supposed to get down in the teens tonight, I think. It was a high of like 35 degrees today, from this weekend being like 75. And so my sinuses, you can probably hear it, they're all jacked up and whatnot, but yeah, so the weather's been crazy, but we got some stuff done. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have saw my stories. We got the raised garden beds filled with dirt, made a mess of our backyard, in the process, but man, we gotta get work done, and I can't not run my tractor because I'm gonna, tear things up. Now I won't run it in the front yard, where it's nice and I got really nice grass and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to run it out there. But in the back, it's, it's a farm. We got to get stuff done. And so yeah, I did that and picked up some sticks and whatnot. I did get to mow this weekend. Saturday. It was kind of a marathon. So I got up Saturday and we had our men's breakfast at church. The third Saturday of the month. Second Saturday? Third. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. Of the month, we have a men's breakfast and women's breakfast. We have 3 buildings at our church. All 3 of them have kitchens. And so the men will go in one, the women will go in another. But that was really good. And so I got done with that and went home. And then my wife, kids, and I ran up into town. I live about 45 minutes from Erie, Pennsylvania. And Erie's kind of the place you go if you need to go to like Sam's Club. And there's a big mall and lots of shopping and all kinds of stuff. We live out in the country, and we have Meadville, PA, which is about 15 minutes from us. And there's a lot of things, but we had to go to Sam's Club. And the reason we had to go to Sam's Club is our church is growing, which is an exciting thing. We've had more baptisms in the last couple months than we've seen in a long time. The Spirit of God is working, and we're just along for the ride, man. We are holding on, and we're growing. And so I talked about, we have 3 buildings. We have the church building. It's a small sanctuary. I think we can fit max like 160 or something in the sanctuary. And then we've got a gymnasium, separate building, big gym. We call it the K Center, Koinonia Center. Koinonia is Greek for fellowship. So we have the K Center, and that's got 2 big classrooms in it, bathrooms, a big commercial kitchen, and then the big gymnasium, and then a big loft where the youth have their space. And then we call it the station. So 20 years ago or something, there was an old gas station 2 doors down from the church, and the building went up for sale because the gas station went out of business, and the church bought it and remodeled it, like completely remodeled it. And so we call it the station. That's where I teach a Sunday school class every week, an adult Sunday school class. We actually call it ABF, Adult Bible Fellowship. But so anyways, we're growing, and we're to the point where we have to split into 2 services. And there's been a lot of prayer about it, a lot of strategic planning around it. And one of the things that we're going to end up doing is the first Sunday of the month, we're going to have one big service in the gym. And then the rest of the week, the rest of the month, we'll have 2 services over at the, church. And so so I'm over all like technology and stuff at the church. Surprise. And we wanted to put a big, massive TV in the K Center because we have like a modular stage that we set up in there in the gym for events and different things. And so we wanted to get a big TV. Well, Sam's Club had an 86-inch TV on sale for $600. It's a Samsung nice TV. It was on sale. I don't know, probably trying to get old stock out for new stock. And so went up with the family, and we got some stuff at Sam's Club. We had to get a few things, and then we got the TV. And it's funny, it's too big for the back of my truck, like the box. I mean, it fits in, width wise, but it's basically a 4x8 sheet of plywood size. I mean, it's crazy big. Maybe not quite that big. It's over 6 foot. I couldn't reach. I'm 6'2", and I couldn't reach arm to arm across the front of the box. And so yeah, I was strapped it down in the back of the truck, and went up and got that. And so that was Saturday. So long story to say, men's breakfast in the morning, and then went home and got the kids in the truck, and we ran up to Erie. We went to a couple places. Anytime we're up there, I always like to go. I work in Erie, but I stay away from all the shopping. I go to my office and I go home. But there's a place called Ollie's. A lot of people, I think they're all over the country, but Ollie's Bargain Outlet, I think it's called. If you're ever looking to find a good deal on a Bible, what they'll do is they'll buy like, warehouse sales and like Bibles and books and all. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff, and you can always find gems of Bibles at all these. Like, I've found some really nice Bibles for like $10. And so there was a couple there. I didn't end up getting any there. But we go there and go a couple places and then go to Sam's Club. And we got home, and the storm was supposed to be rolling in, and I had like an hour, roughly a little over an hour. I had to mow the grass. The front, at least, it was getting bad. It is so wet in the back. I didn't even get a chance to mow the back, but I couldn't have anyways, because I got all the way done. I had 4 strips left of grass to mow, and then it started to pour. And I'm like, forget it, I'm finishing this grass. And so got the grass all mowed, and then yeah, just doing stuff. Got another Bible rebind I'm working on, and just busy with kids, and then Sunday church, and then kind of funny story. Friday I worked from home. That's right. So Friday night my son had his spring concert at his school, and so I worked from home Friday, and it was kind of funny. I didn't think anything of it. My wife went to pick Eli up. He does half days at school. He's kindergarten. And so her and my daughter went to pick him up, and it was around lunchtime. And so I was like, I've been sitting inside all morning. I'm going to go get the mail, go outside, right? It was beautiful out. It was like 70 degrees, perfect. And so I had my water bottle with me, and I go out on the front porch, and we got these 2 Adirondack chairs that I had built years ago on the front porch. And I set my water bottle down on the arm of the Adirondack chair, and I went and got the mail, and I come back, and there's like 8 little tiny spiders looking up at my water bottle in like amazement. I was like, what the heck? And so I like killed them all, or tried to, and I went inside, didn't think anything of it. I was like, whatever. Well, then my wife comes home, and then she's going to take the kids outside. It's beautiful out. So she's like, hey, we're going to go outside. And next thing you know, I start getting Snapchats from her. There are these little spiders all over our house, everywhere. Oh, on the cars, in the truck, just these little tiny spiders everywhere. And one thing about my wife is she does not like spiders. I don't like bees. She takes care of bees. I take care of spiders. And she's like, if these things are coming inside, she's like, I'm burning this house down. And so I called the pest control company, and they came out Sunday after church. They worked Sunday, I guess. I don't know. They came out Sunday after church and sprayed the house for us and got everything all cleaned up. And, the spiders were gone by then, but nonetheless, so that was funny. Yeah, she's ready to burn the house down. We got good insurance, but yeah. So it's just been busy, and a lot of things going on. Work is busy. I took Wednesday off, or my son has a field trip to the zoo, so I'm going to chaperone and be part of that. And then I took Friday off because I'm going to be gone for 6 days, and I'd really like to just spend some time with family. So yeah, it's just been really busy, a lot going on, but everything's good, for the most part. Weather, it got cold again, and my sinuses are all jacked up, but yeah, as is life. So, something's been on my mind, kind of like, Tom was saying how, the idea last week of, having the guys, and they know when something's up. And there's been something that's been on my mind, and it really got planted like last year, and it pops up every once in a while. And there's this sermon that I heard, and I talked about the book of Jude 1:1, and I'm not going to do I don't even remember the sermon, but just the idea of it is really, I don't know, it's just been with me. And so I just kind of want to share that with you guys. But Jude 1:1, it says, I'll read 1 and 2. This is the ESV. Jude, a servant of Jesus Christ and brother of James, to those who are called, beloved in God the Father, and kept for Jesus Christ, May mercy, peace, and love be multiplied to you. So this idea that we are called, beloved, and kept. And every time I come across that, it just kind of gives me chills. The reality that that we're called, that there's a divine calling. In Romans it says that for those who he foreknew, he also predestined. And we are called by God. The Greek word there is kletios, and it's not a self-initiating, right? You didn't find God; He called you. It makes us humble, right? That we have been called by God. Your identity isn't about anything you can do, not about your work, how much money you have, your failures, your reputation. Doesn't matter. You are called. And then we're beloved. And it's a Greek word that I can't even pronounce. Not even going to try it. Ekapomenois. That's all I got. But this is interesting because I was looking up these words, and it's in the Greek, it's a perfect passive participle, the word beloved. And it describes a completing action with ongoing results. You have been loved and you are remain loved, right? So beloved, it's this idea that that God loved you, right? For God so loved the world, but he still loves you. It's ongoing, right? This is God's love. This is agape. This is a love that we can't even understand. Jude, in the book of Jude, it's a short little book. There's 24 verses, 25 verses. And Jude is kind of calling out, apostasy. There's these teachings that have crept in, and he's calling out, and he's, saying that you are beloved. You're beloved. We are loved by God, and it's something that I can't comprehend, even though I've been a Christian for a long time, and it's, I know I'm loved, but man, we are loved by God, and then we're kept. This is a perfect passive participle as well. So it's this idea of a past action with continuing present reality. And it's the same in the end of Jude 1:24. It says, "Him who is able to keep you from stumbling." The root word is the same there as the word kept. And this is intentional. The structure of this. And this isn't self-preservation. You're being guarded. It's God is watching out for us. We are kept. When we accept Jesus, and when we live a life that is honoring to him and honoring to God, we are kept. It means that those things that, used to bother us, or these sins that, once defined us, don't define us anymore. We are kept. And these three words together, that you're called, beloved, and you're kept. This is a big deal, right? You're called into a relationship with God. You're held in that love, and you're secured against loss. Jude is getting ready to describe wolves in a real spiritual danger, but he wants to remind the reader that you're more than that. He's warning against this serious apostasy, this serious stuff that's happening, and he wants to remind you on who you are. To those who are called, beloved in God the Father, and kept for Jesus Christ. We are kept for Jesus. This is, come on. This is good stuff. And it's just something that I think we need to remember, right? That your identity is not in what you think you are, not in what you did, not in anything you can do, that you are kept for Jesus Christ, and that he died on the cross so that we may face tomorrow, right? Blessed assurance. We know we have the assurance of salvation through Christ. And it's something that I think is a reminder, the reality of that. And so, yeah, it's just some thoughts there that's been kind of lingering with me, and good thing to remember is that we are called, beloved, and kept for Jesus. So anywho, this can be a short episode, kind of like last week. So sorry for that. It's getting kind of late here. I downloaded Tom's episode, and then I listened to the whole thing, and then I edited it, uploaded it, and then jumped on the mic to record this one. So it's getting kind of late here, but I wanted to get this done because the rest of the week is jam-packed. I'm not going to have time to do it after today, really. And so I hope everybody's doing well, and just want to shout out to our patron supporters. You guys are awesome. We really appreciate you. If you want to support us on Patreon, if you feel compelled that by some reason that Tom and I are just a couple of dudes on some mics, right? If you feel called to support us, you can do so at patreon.com/faithtalkswood. And then Tom had mentioned about giving us a review. Apple and Spotify. Those are the two big ones. If you're on there, leave a comment, give us a review. It just helps people find the podcast. We're not a big podcast. We're not the smallest podcast either, but it just helps people find us. And the whole reality and reason why we want people to find us is so, we can encourage those to walk in the identity of Christ that you have been called to do, and to encourage you guys. There's a lot of things for your attention out there. The enemy wants to serve you something to distract you, and we appreciate that you guys listen to this podcast, and that hopefully God is using it, and that's our whole goal. We want people to be encouraged to live a life for Christ, right? You are kept for Jesus Christ, and we want to help you realize that. And just, Tom and I are good friends, and we just like chatting on the mic and, seeing how each other's doing. And it's kind of interesting, we've changed for the time being the format of the podcast a little bit. We'll do a couple weeks together, and each of us will kind of do a solo week. And, to Tom's point, 9:00 is a good time for me. Kids go to bed at 8, gives me time to do a couple things before the podcast, before we record, and then we get on record, and I can usually be in bed at a somewhat decent time after the podcast. But for him, it's still light out, and it's still nice. It's still daytime, and it's early. He's 2 hours behind me. And so, it's just been tough trying to find the time to record. And he's, it's kind of funny. A lot of people, we don't post the video, but we do have a video chat that we that we do during this. And a lot of times Tom is eating dinner as we're doing the podcast. And so, the timing is tough, and we're working through that. And so just be praying for us that we can continue to put out quality content that's biblically sound, and that we can do so not for our good, not for our glory, but for Him and His glory. God has brought us both out of a lot of things, and we want to share that with you guys. But yeah, so I hope everybody's doing well. One thing I kind of alluded to earlier, I'm in the middle of a Bible rebind, and it's my own. Well, it's, I guess, my Bible. It was my wife's Bible. She grew up in a Christ E Free Church, which I know some of our guests and I think some of you guys that listen go to E Free churches. And she went to a Baptist high school, a private Baptist school. That's where my son is going to school. And when she got baptized, the church got her a Bible. And she used it some, but she didn't really like it because it is the NASB 1977 edition. I forgot we had it. It was over on my shelf, and I never really looked at it much. And I've been reading in the more literal books, the ESV, the LSB. Pastor's been preaching out of the NASB at church, but the NASB 77 is, I'm liking it a lot. It's this is a Thompson Chain Reference Bible, but it was a bonded leather. It's just kind of falling apart, and I've been reading out of it every night. I'm like, oh, man, I like this. It keeps when somebody is speaking to God, it keeps the thee and the thous, kind of like the King James, but the rest of the Bible is normal English, if you will. And it's got a few things I like. It capitalizes pronouns. It's a red letter, but it's a Thompson Chain Reference. If you've never messed with a Thompson Chain Reference Bible, oh man, it'll put you down a rabbit hole real quick. And so anyways, I've been reading it a lot, and it's just not in the best condition. And so I'm like, you know what? It's been a while since I've done a rebind, and so I've been working on that. In hindsight's 30/72. I'm using it's like a goat skin leather on it, really thin, nice and floppy. Again, hindsight. On these bigger Bibles, it's a pretty big like study Bible. I really should be using the thicker leather, like the cowhide stuff that I have. It just helps with the big, just helps keep it together and stuff. And this leather will be fine. There's no issue with it. But realizing, like, probably should have used a thicker leather. But anywho, so I'm just rambling at this point. But I hope and I pray that you guys are doing well. And until next week, we will talk at you later.